Hello and welcome back to another episode of Jimbo's Driveway. Today we're back at SE Jags in Cholton and we're going to do an update on my car today on the XJS V12. The last time that we was here we came in to look at the oil leak that was coming from the front oil cooler, and also there's been an oil leak from the rocker cover gaskets that I've had since I bought the car. And it seemed to make sense to get both of those things remedied and at once, so hopefully the car is oil leak free. Having had a look around the car, there doesn't seem to be any other leaks that seem to be causing a problem. That's it. So if we address those, hopefully I've got a nice tight engine and no oil leaking. For how long we don't know, because anyone you speak to about Jaguar V12s will tell you the only ones that don't leak are the ones with no oil in them. So, but hopefully we're going to make an improvement by doing these bits, and we're going to go over what else we're going to do to the car, because in order to do the rocker cover gaskets, pretty much everything on the top end of the car has to come off. Top end of the engine has to come off. So we're going to take that opportunity to address some other issues and some cosmetics and some other minor mechanicals that are all going to make the car hopefully singing beautifully on its 12 cylinders when it's all finished, and be something enjoyable I can use over the summer. So let's get on, have a look at that with Andrew under the bonnet, and while we're there we'll have a look around underneath the car as well, just to see what sort of shapes he's in and just see if there's anything else that needs considering. The last time I was here we had a look at the E-type restoration that was going on. But due to the amount of time that's elapsed since I was last here and now, because there's been a number of things we've had to go through to decide what we should do, what we shouldn't do, what absolutely needs doing, etc., etc. We have had about 5 or 6 weeks in between. So I'm afraid that project has been finished and gone, and it's out of the workshop. So we haven't got anything on that, and I know that there were people who were keen for that. So if any similar sort of projects come up, Andrew's already got that on the radar, and we'll try and get in and cover a full restoration of an E-type at some point in the future. So keep watching for that. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's have a look under the bonnet and see what we've got going on there. Right, so give us an overview of what we found and what we're going to do.
Basically, cam cover gaskets are leaking, obviously they need replacing. So, injection manifold off, fuel rail off. As in the last video, we discovered it had a little bit of a dicky injector. So we're gonna fuel rail off, another fuel rail arrive with new, like rebuilt injectors and whatnot. Detail the cam covers, new stickers, detail the manifolds, new manifold gaskets, and we need to find what miles the plugs and what have you have done, don't we?
Yep.
Remember last time we was discussing it?
Yep.
So if it needs a set of plugs and leads, it'll have that, a new cap and rotor arm, etc. if it needs it. If it doesn't, then we won't.
Okay.
But we'll detail all these, new stickers, like I said, detail the manifold, fuel pipes, I'll clean all this, the rail will be nice again, all the throttle linkages, everything. Whole shooting match.
It's going to look really fresh under there.
Yeah,
and
and we're going to put the aircon pump back as well.
The car's been here a few weeks now while we've been debating what actually needs doing, what doesn't need doing, and it has been sat outside. It might look like a barn find, but a week from now it will look like a different car, won't it?
Yes.
And it will run like a different car, we hope as well.
The butterflies up and everything.
So after we had the sticky injector issue, it was that was cleared up, and then another misfire came back.
Yeah, driver's side this time, which that's why I thought to myself, we're taking this off anyway. Might as well have the rail done with the injectors and etc. Yeah. It's not going to hurt it, it's only going to improve it. By the time we do all the gaskets and etc, it'll be nice and new, all back together. Set the butterflies again, adjust all the throttles, and I think you'll notice there's a substantial difference, to be honest.
I'm sure it will. It'll just drive as it should, I suppose.
Well, yeah.
Because although it's been great when I've been driving it, it was kind of like the mid-range. You felt it as well. It was like it kind of run out of puff a little bit.
Yeah, a bit of a flat spot,
And it shouldn't really be doing that because it's had an enhanced ECU on it. So it's got the AJ6 ECU on it.
Mm-hmm. Different exhaust.
Yeah, different exhaust. So it's breathing okay, and that should be fine. So, but the injectors are old. We was looking at the hoses as well and thinking, the hoses are going to need doing. The rocker cover gaskets we knew need doing anyway because they were leaking. So it does seem to make sense that we're going to basically overhaul everything from the rocker cover gaskets up.
Yes.
Including refurbed injectors, rail, new rubber hoses, setting everything up.
Setting
up
nice,
and right.
Set the caps on the butterflies properly and things like that,
Yeah.
And I really think it will make such a difference.
Well,
a substantial one.
No pressure, but in 2 weeks' time tomorrow, in 2 weeks' time tomorrow, it's going for a drive to Caffeine and Machine, which is about 300 round trip. So that's going to be a proper running in test. So
she's got to look her best then.
She's got to look her best. So we're going to give it a good clean up. But one of your guys here is a bit of a dab hand at cleaning cars as well. Is he going to work his magic on the outside?
He's hand it to death, and I'd like to that door sort the gap out on it as well.
This one here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit,
I'm not sure what's going on with this panel gap. Ever since I've had the car, I've just looked at it in despair because I can't understand how it's kind of tight at the bottom, but then as you come up between the wing and the top of the door, it's just horrendous. So
I'd like to
these little bits
address
and pieces.
get that, and this, like I said. Because when we had it in last time, we'd done all the water pump and that, I painted all this, because this, I don't know if you remember, this was all red rusty.
Yeah, that's right.
I painted all that. I'll paint the brackets, the aircon brackets. I'll paint the inside of the V. These are going to be rubbed down, like dipped and stripped and painted. Do you see what I mean? I'll paint all the manifolds. Yeah, I'll have a new injector rail. Things like these fuel pipes and the fuel pressure regulators and that, I'll clean them up as best I can.
Yeah.
But I can get these looking nice. And from that engine rebuild I've done, the XJS, the 12, I've still got lots of new nuts, bolts, washers, and
okay.
And I know it sounds silly, but they look $1 million with new nuts, bolts, and
Yeah.
But we're trying, like I said, I try and get it looking lovely,
Yeah.
Even down to the throttle spindle. These, I'll clean them up. They look all nice again. It'll just be that bit more like presentable. That I'll paint that. I know it sounds silly, but
Yeah.
paint it. It's
all the little details. They all make a difference. Don't they?
and I've got, like I said, I still get them new from Jaguar. New stickers to go on the cam covers.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah.
Once we clean all the lube, it just honestly, I hope you'll be pleasantly surprised.
I'll be pleased with it. There's no doubt about that.
But I might even, while we got it, I might even try and give this a bit of love.
Yeah, I mean that's all superficial, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not, because I've looked at that and thought, bloody hell, that looks a right state, that front panel. But when I've looked close, I think it is just surface, and it's a cosmetic. It's gonna have to take a back seat if it comes to it.
Oh,
It would be nice to tidy up. I've also considered replacing this with an XJRS front panel with the inlet straight into the air boxes, and moving the what's it called?
The ignition
amplifier to the front.
Which we can still buy all new.
Yeah, well, I remember you saying that last time I was in. So that's going to be something that might be a bit further down the line, but something that I'd like to maybe investigate as well. But
like I said, I'm hoping you'll notice the result and be happy with it. It's,
I've promised I've promised the wife that I will take doing work on the house more seriously next year, and whatever that involves. So I'm getting done what needs to get done on this now, with a view to hopefully not having to do anything major to it over the next year or so. But who knows? We'll just have to wait and see where that ends up.
The only other sticker I've got to get is this. That one, which I'm sure I've got one. I'm sure I have. If not, I can still get it. It's still available. Because I'm obviously going to have to take that off. I'm going to dip them, the cam covers.
Right.
And then, although it's really the later cars that have it, I'm going to paint this. You're all for the cap red.
That look nice.
Yeah, it's normally only the later cars, but look, it's all. Look, I'll get that all nice and clean. Paint it red, new seal, you know?
Yep.
It should look
lovely.
nice.
Look absolutely wonderful.
I've even got this vacuum pipe from the last one that I done, that I built.
Yeah.
I bought like a reel of it, you know?
Yep.
So things like that just makes such a difference. New Jubilee clips and etc. Where needed, you know? Just
Yep.
brightens it up. Even down to these. You see these, when we get the injector out, this clip holds the injector down.
Yep.
There, you know when you get the, when the metal's new, it's, I can't remember what the name is plated, it's got like that rainbowy colour.
Yep.
So like that. I've got new, these 11 mils. I've got new ones of those. You know, even the 13 mils that hold the manifold down, I've got new ones of those. I carry them all in stock.
Nice.
So once it goes back, like I said, it should look $1 million.
No, it will. It's not should. Don't speak with conviction. I know it's going to look amazing.
It will look $1 million.
Right. Don't say that.
Shh. The front pushes a split.
What's going on? So what have we got under here? Give us a little run over, because this is the first time I've actually seen it up in the air.
Right. Well, she needs to set radius arms. The pushes are split at the front.
Great.
It's been poly bushed at the back.
Yep.
But they're not. The arm itself isn't great.
These are a known weak spot on these cars as well, aren't they? Radius arms. I always seem to be reading about radius arms needing replacing.
Yeah, and the trouble is, what you find is you can buy the original Metalastic bush, which a lot of people think they're getting when they buy them, and they're not. They're just getting a cheap aftermarket one. Do you see what I mean?
Right.
So they are a bit dearer, but once you do them, they'll last longer than the other sort of aftermarket one. Do you see what I mean?
I mean, how much life have these got left in them, would you say?
Them bushes, none. These bushes, they're them poly ones, so they don't really show signs of cracking. And
Right.
do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
They do make the suspension so much more harder though.
Yeah.
And this driver seal though, this is nice. That's a good sign. It's a little bit sweaty at the back there, but look, it's nice and dry, which is good. But she's a little bit sweaty here on the pan, but it's only a gasket, you know, it's not end of the world. Really isn't. Like, it's really not drastic dramas. Do you see what I mean? I have to repair this speedo drive, I was just saying to you. That's right, so we can do it, These are new cotton reel as well.
What's the cotton reel?
Cotton reel, it's the gearbox mount, and it looks like a cotton reel.
Okay.
But it's about that big, and I'll say about that fat.
Yeah.
And they're just like a hard foam.
Right.
And they, after time, obviously they've got the weight of the gearbox on them, and they just get weak.
Is that why the gear stick bobs up and down a bit?
Yeah, it's probably a bit weak.
Yeah.
See it? And you see it, I can actually move that now.
Oh wow.
See it moving around?
Yeah.
It's not really a lot left. In actual fact, it's in half.
All right.
The top part of it's still in the top.
I tell you what, whenever I come here, I always end up with worse news than what I've came here with.
But things like that, they're easy fixes. They're not end of the world. It's a preventative maintenance, or it's a normal maintenance, should I say?
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah. They're all perishables at the end of the day. Things like that, aren't they?
It's so common.
Consumables.
Yeah, you know. See if I can sort that out. Because that would. Do you ever hear any rattles?
I do. I wondered that there is something.
What can't speak, can't lie.
Yeah. Is that heat shield?
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah, it's to cover this.
Right.
They're going to need replacing soon and all.
What are they?
Your V-mounts for your subframe.
Okay.
They start. Did you see it here?
Yeah.
They start to separate. They don't look like that's sitting nice either.
When the engine comes out, does that come off of that subframe, or does that stay where it is?
No, it stays where it is.
So last time that was, would that ever have been touched, do you reckon? Because this
And
car...
not unless he's dropped the front subframe. Whoever had it, do you see what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I think he did, because I'm sure I've got pictures of both rear and front
Well, he
subframe.
must have done, because he's done all the bushes and what
Oh, yeah,
have
of
you.
course, yeah. Yeah, so it has been down. It's like the painting of the Forth Bridge owning one of these, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's never...
See,
It's never done. Not unless you take it, not unless you do a full nut and bolt and start over. I think
No.
you just have to accept that it's going to be an ongoing
that's right.
project, really.
That's right. Of course it is. Could do with a set of O-rings and your oil filter pipes up here and all, actually.
But can we get it to a point where I can
Drive it and enjoy it.
drive it and enjoy it for a few months
Yeah,
at
of
least?
course. We need to do it. Once we do this. Look, if you come up, look how much this is leaking now. Look, do you see it? The oil cooler.
Yeah, you
Look.
can actually see the.
It's quite bad, actually. It's probably done this a favour.
Yeah.
But if you look up here, looks like there, right at the back there, it's actually corroded away. The oil cooler itself. All along there as well, and here, and here. So we've got a brand new one.
I've got a brand new one.
Genuine.
While we were looking round the car and taking everything into consideration, the car was up on the ramp. On having a look around the wheels and tyres, we discovered that they weren't in as great shape as I'd like, and that the tyres in particular looked like they were kind of, the rubber was really hard, but there was also some cracks starting to appear in them as well. Bearing in mind what I've got planned for the car throughout the summer, you know, fingers crossed all being well, having substandard tyres on just wouldn't really be an option. So in for a penny, in for a pound. I've had to go along the lines of looking to do something about that as well. As it happens, the original owner of the Jag who I bought the car from, he had a very rare set of 16-inch XJS alloys, or certainly Jaguar alloys, but intended to go on the XJS, which he never got round to fitting. We've stayed in touch ever since I've owned the car, and he said, when I contacted him, he said, I've still got those 16-inch alloys to go on the car. They're still in the lockup. So, long story short, we managed to do a very good deal between us, and I managed to acquire those wheels, and I've got them sent down here to Diamond Cut Alloy Wheels in Erith. These guys, what they've done to these wheels is unbelievable. I had the wheels delivered straight here, so I've only got one photo of them before they come in, but I'll cut that in now so you can see it. But what these guys have done with these wheels is absolutely fabulous. They look $1 million. I cannot wait to see them on the car. Of course, The tyres was the main point we was replacing them. So we've got a new set of tyres which are lower profile. Originally I looked at a Pirelli, which was a 225 50/16, which is currently used on a Mercedes. However, they were quite expensive. This wasn't really a planned expense, so I'm trying to keep the cost down. And it was recommended to me, these Next Gen tyres are a budget brand, but they're actually really good. They're around about half the price of the Pirellis for the same profile. They are still a sport tyre, and it's still a 225 50/16. So I think they will look right on the wheel, on the car, and improve the performance as well. But hopefully this is another thing that's checked off, which is done now, and I'm not going to have to revisit for a long time. Be interesting to see how these tyres stack up. I'm a bit of a brand snob when it comes to tyres. I do like my brands, and I was kind of wanting to go for the Pirellis, but I'm assured these tyres are really good. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they perform out on the road. Anyway, there we go. We've had a look around the car, under the bonnet and on the underside as well. So we can see what we're going to be dealing with now, and in another week's time we'll be able to come back and look and see the car done, or very nearly done, I hope, because I'll then be, the week after that, taking the car on its first maiden voyage after all this work to Caffeine and Machine, which I'm really looking forward to. It's going to be a great day out. Hopefully the weather's not too bad. It's about a 300-mile round trip, so it's going to be a good test for the car, and it'll be good. It'll be great to take it for a nice long run and see what that place is about, and I'm going to do a separate video on that as well. That's about it for today. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you do, please make sure you like and subscribe, share the video, and keep watching, because I'll be back with an update very soon. So, for now.